do integrated speech on demonstration and also an educational speech. So let's see how we go. So it's either going to go well, or you're going to learn something, or else you can have a good laugh. So really, it's never a waste of time, is it? I have handouts for the people who didn't get them the last time I presented this session, which I can see there are 2 or 3 people of. It's all about bluffing and using your energy and your fear and everything that happens before you come out to speak. Some people are absolutely petrified. They're so petrified they call it their mind goes blank, and they can't put their brains and their mouth in gear, and they simply freeze, and that's terrifying. Well, the truth is, fellow Toastmasters, it happens to everybody. We all get nerves, we all get frightened, and we all get very anxious. And our anxiety can be brought on by many factors. If something's new or unknown, you've got nothing to compare it with. The first time you stood in front of a Toastmasters group, how did you feel? The first time you had to speak at a P&C meeting. The first time you had to speak at your mother's group. First time you actually speak at one of your other meetings. Or at a wedding. Or at your child's birthday party. All fearful and all unknown. And we naturally get anxious. And what do we worry about? We worry about not being successful. But in actual fact, we worry about things that usually never happen. We worry because we're scared that we're going to fail. And fear of failure often stops us from even trying. So that anxiety is built up in a situation that is unknown to us, and we really don't know how we're going to get going. And the worst thing in the world is feeling like a dill. We can feel like a dill in the Toastmasters meeting because we're all here together in a very safe environment where we are supportive of one another. No matter what we do, we know that someone's going to find something good in what we say. However, in unknown situations, the fear of looking foolish is sometimes enough to make us freeze and make us say, we don't want to do this, it's all too hard. What else can bring on anxiety? Am I boring you, Terry?
No, I'm bored because I'm listening. The possibility of boring the audience is always there tonight, but I'm
Yes.
sure you'll address that.
You look around and people playing with their phones, twiddling with their hair, yawning, all this body language. You're thinking, I'm only halfway through my speech. So all that anxiety just gets worse and worse. And combine that, we start to feel sick. Some people call it increased heart rate. I can feel my heart pacing now. At least I know I'm alive. I'm really feeling I'm under the pump here, so to speak. My heart is racing. All the thoughts are going through my head, and I hope what I'm doing is not making me look foolish, but I'll keep going. In actual fact, sometimes people say I have butterflies in the tummy. You actually really feel sick. You need to visit the ladies or the gents before you come out to speak. You really feel quite sick. What do we do when we start getting these symptoms? I'm not using the microphone because you would see my hand shaking like this. Some people actually physically do shake. Their legs shake, their knees shake. They're feeling dreadful. And now they've got to try and speak without feeling foolish or boring people. And if they are feeling very faint, it's because they're breathing very fast and they start to get dizzy, feeling very lightheaded. And the last thing they feel like doing is speaking to a crowd. So how do we manage this anxiety? How do we bring all this together to come out after we're introduced with a big clap and great anticipation? How do we bring this all together? So how do we manage the anxiety? From experience, you get used to it. You get your comfort zone as you realise this is going to happen every time. So the more you practice, and practice, you will get better. So that's the very first thing. And I can see the growth in some of our speakers in this very club, from their very first speech to where they are now, because they've practiced. There is no such thing as a born speaker. What there are speakers that have learnt and practiced, taken on people's feedback and improved. So with more experience, you'll be able to manage it. The big skill of speaking in front of a mirror can be quite terrifying. But that's exactly what people are looking at. Do you have an annoying habit? Do you do something that's really distracting from the crowd? What do you actually look like? Are you fidgeting? Those things can help you manage the way you're perceived by your audience. If you've got a very special friend, you can rehearse in front of them. And in the Toastmasters situation is, you can have a mentor and they help you and they assist you. You can talk to them and they can give you advice back. So from that, you come into a group situation, you're feeling much better prepared by speaking to someone you know and trust. And then you're ready to speak at a Toastmasters club. With all your butterflies, with all your hearts racing, feeling like you're a fool, but you've practiced, and you've practiced, and you've practiced. You've looked at yourself in the mirror, you've got your best friend to tell you what you're doing wrong. Now we bring it all together. That's why our evaluations and feedback is so valuable in Toastmasters. We have other people that tell you how you can grow, what you've done well, and where you can improve. And then you can move on to all those other positions I was talking about at your mother's group, at your wedding, could be your funeral if you're very lucky. You can then use your skills. People are amazed that you can get up and start to talk. May I take Sue as an example? She has just got a job after being made redundant. Congratulations, Sue. Very exciting. She told me she never thought that she'd do so well in an interview. But questions were fired at her. Because of table topics, she was able to answer and think on her feet. Congratulations, Sue. Now, how else can we manage when we know that we're going to be absolutely petrified? This is called visualization. And I would like to just at this stage try to float and go to sleep, close my eyes and think and meditate and see myself in front of the stage with 1,000 people waiting for me to open my mouth and hear the words of wisdom that I'm going to give them. I can see that lady in the front seat. She can't keep her eyes off me. I start my speech with a joke. Would people laugh? Oh, thank goodness. The man over there in the black t-shirt can't stop laughing. Fantastic. I speech is going really well. My heart is pacing, but I'm breathing. Thank goodness I've practiced and know my speech content really well. Oh yes, I'm starting to relax. People are warming to me. I can see them leaning towards me, listening to what I have to say. I think I've done it. Yes, I'm actually quite enjoying myself. This wasn't so bad. Oh, the red light shining. I've got to get off. Oh, it just happened all so quickly. I wish I had more time to talk. Oh, if only. If only. I finished my speech and they jumped up to their feet and clapped and applauded, and I felt fantastic. Oh, it wasn't a dream! It wasn't a dream, it was real! I visualised that. I wonder whether you can visualise the same thing. Close your eyes and think and see and feel and sense what it's going to be like. I'd like to share very quickly a recurring dream that I had for 3 weeks before one of my big North parties. It was my 50th party. It was so symbolic. I wanted this party to be wonderful. Every night I dreamt about my party, about people coming and the presents I was going to get, and wonderful music, and the food was going to be delicious, and what I was going to say in my speech. And every morning I'd wake up and I'd say, that was a great party, but it wasn't as good as last night's. And every night I dreamt that. And when it actually came to reality, I had such an anticipation that I knew it didn't matter what was going to happen, it was going to be a great party. Because I'd been to 30. Each preceding night, they were all different, but they were all okay. So before you get up and speak, you visualise what you're going to do, and visualise and know that it's going to be okay, and everything will work out. The fear will drop. And then of course you have to relax. How do you relax? You swing your arms, you swing your legs, you stretch, do all those wonderful things to make us feel relaxed. You often see athletes before a race wanting to feel relaxed, stretching, touching their toes, stretching their back, arching, all those wonderful things. And finally, breathing techniques. Can you help me? Breathe in, hold, breathe out slowly. Breathe in, breathe out. In actual fact, put your hand on your diaphragm. Feel yourself breathing. All the way from down here. Deep breathing. You're ready for your speech, guys. With all that deep breathing and relaxation, no butterflies, no nerves are going to stop you from being a sensational speaker. It is normal, it is natural, and it's normal to feel nervous.